All right. Everyone comfortable? Thank you all for grabbing a seat. We're going to get started in just a little bit, just getting a little bit social. Yeah, everybody, welcome to the Contois Auditorium here at City Hall for tonight's Vignette of Veiled Light, a love letter to Burlington's Total Eclipse. Was everyone in Burlington for the 2024 Total Eclipse? Raise your hand. Nice. Was anyone out of state for the Total Eclipse? All right. Okay, see, that's the type of interaction I'm looking for. Thank you guys for being here. My name is Kenroy Walker. You can call me Roy. I'm going to be doing a little bit of the collaborative conversation, plus, of course, walking you through tonight's program. Hope you feel comfortable. Feel free to patronize the bar at the back. There's a cash and debit bar. And also feel free to, think about where you were, how things were, that moment when the total eclipse happened, what was happening around you. And we're gonna have a little bit of that dialogue as well. Thank you all for being here. But just before we get the video started, I just wanna get the lay of the space here. We're gonna do a lot of interactive elements. So feel free to shift around if you're comfortable to do so. Shout out to everyone who has their assistive animals or pets with them. Just making sure everybody's welcome. Greet your neighbor. Definitely do that too. We're in a space of community. Give somebody a nice smile, a look around, and welcoming anyone. Everyone's presence here is welcome. This is a free and open event supported by Burlington City Arts. And I might give a little bit more. Yeah, give a little round of applause for this curated space, Burlington City Arts as well. I guess it's a good time to do a little shout out. A big shout out to Alexandra, Morrow, and Myles, Jewell, the producers of tonight's event. So a big round of applause for them as well. All right, I see you guys are getting comfortable. Once again, feel free to shuffle around a little bit. This is gonna be a really interactive element. Big shout out to the musicians that are here. We have a casual name that we're going through, either the vignettes or the Vignettes of Veiled Light. The Belgrade Orchestra? The Veiled Light Orchestra. That sounds good? So every time we mention the band here, beautiful sonic accoutrements to the visual elements that are going to be here, just prepare yourself. It's going to be very, very entertaining and interactive. So just another moment, we're going to officially start with the video. So feel free to get a little bit more comfortable, and I will do the official announcement for the video to start. So once again, give yourself a round of applause and welcome to tonight's event. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us in person in Contois and online for the Burlington City Council meeting, the beginning of our evening, which is an exciting presentation on the city's plans for the Solar Eclipse 2024. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. It is something that's unimaginable in some ways and yet fantastic and magnificent in others when you think about what is going to occur, the specialness, the mysticalness of it, and what it can bring to our community.
That's actually a fantastic question. What's your teardown?
So Burlington Telecom is prepared to give you a hardwired, dedicated connection because it's easily set up.
That's right. Great. It's nothing I love to hear better than it's easy to set up.
Yeah.
That's it? Yeah. Are we taking?
Yep.
readers. I need my solar glasses. It's cloudy today. I almost want to just walk outside and just... But my intention is that I would film Like, I want to film the eclipse because I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And anyone else who is also potentially interested in going out and getting footage and bringing it back.
Yeah.
I'm fully supportive and I appreciate it, but I'm not gonna go out to people and say, hey, you gotta do this, because it's a unique event, and I think we all recognize that we want people to enjoy it for themselves.
Yeah, so this is basically going to be similar to what the storm strike segments that we used to do, which is like they're going to switch cameras, you don't have to worry about looking at any of them. And I'll wrap this up after that. Whether, and then Darren can also toss to some sort of traffic update. And maybe we just plan to have a traffic update in there, even if the traffic update is, hey, things are actually pretty decent right now. It's sunny. We didn't think we were going to get a day like this. The odds weren't in the favor for a day like this.
If we had 2 in a row, that's really not in the odds for an
Right, and so you can provide some of that context that does not require that you see a graphic in front of you.
I know.
And then toss it to Gary. So Gary, are there any clouds we're tracking right now?
It's coming in a little later than anticipated, but still, it's kind of like tomorrow afternoon really picks up. But Thursday is still the rotten day. You know, if you're gonna not go on a day, it's Thursday. So tomorrow, you kind of be at the start of the story.
Ideally, this all runs well, right? And people are parking, they're getting on their shuttle bus, they're getting back to downtown. I think the trouble begins on the departure. One, it could be a rush of people. 2, now we have vehicles leaving, departing Route 127, and we still need to run our shuttle buses to get back on there.
All right, welcome to the stage, the producers of the video. We have Alexandra, Morrow, and Myles, Jewell.
We're good sharers.
The partnered duo lay asleep,
He sleeps with pillows between his legs.
and she sleeps with him in her arms.
They had recently been using a sleep app because a friend mentioned they found it useful for a healthier life.
However, the app also would record noise, such as heavy breathing, snoring, mumbles, and even sleep talking.
They did not believe they were sleep talkers. They were dream trackers, asking each other to recount the night's mischief in the morning, sun over coffee.
They liked the way the beams bore through their kitchen window at sunrise. As she sipped her coffee black, they clicked into the app and scrubbed waveforms from the night before.
As was expected, there was rustling and snores.
Mumbles and discordant thoughts.
They were, in fact, sleep talkers.
As they neared the end of the evening's recordings, they found to their surprise a conversation had taken place without their knowing.
There, in the midst of the waveforms, was a message.
Deja vu.
He said.
And in the darkness of night, she replied, They had been reading Carl Jung's Man, Myth, and His Symbols, in which Jung speaks about how dreams are the unconscious speaking to us.
Freud and Jung believed dreams could never fully articulate a thought because it had to be on the threshold of consciousness but could never cross over.
Like the faint gleam of the stars during a total eclipse of the sun.
But if our reality is veiled only by what we can see, what is revealed when our reality is eclipsed? What vignettes?
Let's do this together. Okay.
What vignettes are drawn into focus when we see the world through veiled light?
All right, one more time, give it up for our video production professionals, producers here, Myles and Alex. All right, we're gonna bring it up to, shout out to Bob, the master of the musical element here that is in real time accompanying the video element. Shout out to Bob Wagner, everyone.
Hello? Hey, all right, great. We practiced this. Thanks everybody for coming. And Myles and Alex asked me if I would do a little something to just kind of get everybody in the mood for some of the stuff that we're going to be doing here with this beautiful collaboration of audio and visual textures tonight. One thing that we thought might be nice to do is to just kind of tune the room. And I want to make this really short. We're going to do a little singing together, like at the end. If that gives you any type of anxiety, you can rest assured you don't need to be good at singing or good at music or anything like that. But what we like to do is just kind of tune the room, so to speak. We'd like to just get all the ions in the room to just relax and just be in this space together. It's a big day. There's a lot going on. It's not exactly a slow news week. So what I was thinking we could do is just do some very simple three-part harmony together. So that would mean taking this side of the room, singing one note, the middle of the room, and up top singing another note, and this side of the room singing another note. So if you're over here on this side of the room, this is your note. Oh, oh. That is exactly what we're trying to do right there. Nice job, this side of the room. Middle of the room, this is your note. Oh, wonderful. This side, over at the bar. Oh, yep, perfect. Oh, oh, oh. Keep your note going. And let's change to ah. Ah. Let's go back to O's. Oh. And now let's just do a nice little crescendo. Nice job, everybody. We're going to do some of that later, and we're going to have some fun with it. I just want to get everybody nice and loose. Just feel the ions in the room come together. Here we go. Thanks a lot.
Once again, give it up for Bob Wagner. The creative element of the Vignette, what did we say it was? The Vignette Orchestra? See, someone's paying attention. The Veiled Light Orchestra. So yeah, shout out to the Veiled Light Orchestra, the collaboration of creative musicians that are in the place. We want to bring to the stage a storytelling element of poetry. Please welcome May Naguski.
Years ago, I knew a girl named Dahlia. She was soft and silly, and she had to face the world far too quickly. Her dad was in and out of prison, and her little brother Lonnie died. She lived with her grandma, and she had to take care of her remaining siblings. But more than anything, Dahlia loved the sun. It became clear to me that the sun orbited Dahlia, not the other way around. Dahlia made me feel nourished. I always drove her home from work at midnight. We smelled of grease and hummus and marinated eggplant. We listened to Cyanide by Daniel Caesar and didn't say a word. The space between us felt full. The sun had fallen and the moon swallowed her up. Passing Kinsman and East 22nd Street, there were no police, there were no potholes, there was no escaping each other. It's like she saw through me, like she became me or I became her or we became each other. Completely our own thing, its own thing. A new vibration emerged in the world, of me, of her, without control or inhibitions. 6 years have gone by now since I've seen her. I sit in the sun often, feeling full and able to face the hard things. I sit over top the moon, too. I'm kinder now. I am more myself. Dahlia, you were my eclipse.
Once again, that was a great moment of spoken word and poetry storytelling. Now, I want you all to remember where you were, as I said earlier. Where were you at during the total eclipse here in Burlington, if you were in Burlington? And of course, if you weren't, we're going to do a little bit of an interaction moment, just having a little dialogue about that. But until we get there, here is another video element for your enjoyment.
Over a day away from the rare total solar eclipse, tens of thousands of people are expected to make their way to our region, but some eclipse visitors have been left in a lurch after hotel reservations were unexpectedly canceled.
With increasing sunshine as high pressure begins to settle in, and great timing with that. We'll have a nice day for today in this high pressure, so overall that's nice and comfy for looking at the eclipse.
As visitors continue to flock into our region for Eclipse Day, there are several road closures to be aware of. These are just some of them, though. Big day. Dave breaks down the big day.
Oh, yeah.
stores and restaurants are telling me that people should be checking their hours on the day of the eclipse because of an uncertain number of people and uncertainty of what's going on around. Don't use Stores and restaurants are also telling me people should be checking their hours for the day of the eclipse because, oh my god, sorry. For anyone who's looking to check out these stores and restaurants on the day of the eclipse, people are telling me, sorry, sometimes it takes me like touching.
You're having too much fun. I'll carry the next one again. That one's for Cisco.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. Once again, take a thought back to where you were during the total eclipse, who you were with, surrounded by families, friends, even total strangers for the total eclipse. For this next segment, I'd like to introduce you to Kurubo. Kurubo's vocal prowess spans the enchanting spectrum of African folk music and Afro jazz, weaving traditional African melodies and with contemporary interpretations. Her compositions center on themes of healing, the preservation of African heritage, and the plight of marginalized communities, particularly women and children. She effortlessly combines song, dance, and oral tradition, uniting audiences in a celebration of African history and culture. Please welcome to the stage, as I affectionately call her, Mama Rubo, Kurubo.
I'm not going to sing. Maybe I'll sing a little. Hey, hey, get it. Hey, 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 get it. That's a song my grandmother used to sing to put me to sleep. But I'm here to just tell you a story about my experience during the eclipse. I'm from Kenya. How many of you have been to Kenya? Hey. Oh, Africa. Somewhere. There you are. A celestial dance of unity. In the small city of Winooski, Vermont, life had always moved at a steady, predictable rhythm. Nestled along the winding river, the quiet town was a mosaic of cultures, families from different backgrounds living side by side, yet rarely intertwining. People exchanged polite notes at the grocery store, brief conversations at the post office, cordial but fleeting interactions like ripples on a river's surface, never quite merging. Michael, my husband, and I understood this too well. As a Kenyan deeply rooted in my heritage and a social and cultural worker, I spend my days helping immigrant families balance the tightrope between holding on to their roots, embracing their new home. Michael, a New Yorker with English ancestry, is an immigration specialist. Together, we have created something neither of us could have imagined alone, a commitment to bringing communities together. We share so much: our love for family, for justice, for late night conversations that stretch into the stars begin to fade. And yet, we also recognize that culture shapes how we move through the world. While Michael has fully embraced my Kenyan traditions, he's now a pro on eating some of my foods with his hands, and I have grown to appreciate the simple joys of a bagel, a New York bagel. But in our community, we have noticed a hesitation. People were kind, but many rarely stepped beyond the familiar. Then came the announcement of the total solar eclipse, set to pass directly over Winooski. The town buzzed with excitement. For many, it was a once-in-a-lifetime event. In the weeks leading up to it, I felt a shift, a quiet anticipation, a stirring of something beyond curiosity. On the day of the eclipse, Winooski felt different. Families spread out blankets in the park. Children ran freely between groups, and strangers, yes, actual strangers, struck up conversation as if they had known each other for years. It was as if the sun itself had set out an invitation. Come together, be present. Then, as the moon began its slow dance across the sun, a hush, much like now, fell over the crowd. The air turned cool and the light dimmed into an eerie twilight, and for a fleeting moment, day and night met in perfect harmony. And then, totality. A collective gasp swept through the crowd. Strangers held hands, adults and children alike wearing ridiculous-looking protective glasses, all pointing toward the sky in awe. The sun disappeared, leaving only a shimmering corona, a celestial ring of unity. Michael and I held hands, listening to nothing but our own breathing and heartbeats. As I gazed at the sky darkening, an inexplicable feeling of déjà vu washed over me. A memory, or perhaps something deeper, stirred deep within me. A vision of Jesus ascending into heaven after completing his mission on earth. And I recalled the words of the angels who had appeared to his disciples. Men of Galilee, why do you stand here looking up to the sky? This same Jesus who has been taken away from you into heaven will come back again the same way he has gone. The eclipse felt like an echo of that sacred moment, a reminder that the heavens hold mysteries far greater than our understanding, that there is a divine rhythm to all things. Just as the disciples had watched Jesus ascend in awe, the people of Winooski stood in quiet wonder, realizing they were part of something vast and eternal. And then, just like that, the sun returned. So did something else, an eruption of cheers and laughter, even spontaneous applause. Was it joy, or was it love? Or were people just relieved that they were not sucked into a black hole? Either way, something had shifted and a sense of connection lingered. And people looked at one another differently, as if for that brief moment of shared wonder, something had been unlocked, something deeper. And I believe that from that day forward, Winooski began to transform, not overnight, but steadily, from a town of quiet separations into a tapestry woven with real human connection. Mike and I continue our work, now backed by a community that has caught a glimpse of what unity could look like. Thank you.
Thank you for such an awesome moment. Thank you for your attention, audience. Give yourself a round of applause for just being here for tonight's Vignettes of Veiled Light. Right, so we're gonna listen in place. Just take a moment just to sit with just the audio that you're about to hear. Another piece definitely by May Naguski. So just take a moment just to listen in place for this next piece right here.
One clementine, 2 beers, a strip of quilted cloth, an open sketchbook, Caroline talking, and the solar eclipse hanging overhead like a light shade. I remember we talked through most of it, holding our eclipse glasses up to our eyes like a monocle every few minutes to glimpse some of the change. I often think of that detail when looking back, not because I wish we had done things differently, but because it felt a lot like coming up for air. It's strange to recognize a threshold, to breach the surface and feel the sensitivity of awe. That day the sun waned till the moon swallowed its entirety, and we no longer orbited a star but an abandoned halo splintering through the dark. And it was the experience of something on a personal level that minutes ago I only understood conceptually, that put existentialism into perspective. Who am I? What should I do with my life? What is the purpose of my art, my writing? I think these are all really important questions. I also think answering them is not. I could not describe a solar eclipse prior to seeing it, at least not truthfully. So how could I even begin to define myself, or my life, or my art, if they are ever changing? The moon released the sun. There were flocks of birds circling the trees, panicked, and the sounds and the chill of night. And as the sky morphed into rapid sunrise, I witnessed Earth's true revolve around the sun being not night and day, but our relationship to night and day. There is something about unraveling the present orbit. About holding my truths not up against the light, but here within my body, just as I hold my heart and my lungs within my chest. It is being, and it is becoming. It is an answer lived, never defined.
Thanks for that moment. Thanks again, May. All right, just as how you've experienced the storytelling, the sharing of poetic works, You get to hear, you get to experience through the senses of others, the poets or the writers themselves. I want you to sit with that just a minute. Not just what you were looking at. Obviously, the eclipse was a wonder to behold, but sit with what you were listening to, what you were experiencing, you know, the sights, all senses that experience as well. Hopefully that awakens some memory for you as we go into this next video element.
Mingle the starlight with your lives, and you won't be fretted by trifles. What I'm hoping for, what I'm longing for, especially with tomorrow's eclipse, is to mingle starlight with my life.
And they chase each other around the entire solar system.
For us, the eclipse raises some important questions about individual versus collective experience. Is this going to be primarily about our own individual experience, or is this something that creates an opportunity for collective connection, the creation of collective memories?
Happy eclipse season. Yeah. Has anyone seen another eclipse at any point in their lives? Yep. Fantastic. Whereabouts? Yeah.
2017, North Carolina.
I was close to there. I was in South Carolina.
Hey.
Still in the path of totality.
Close enough. Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
What about you?
2000 in England, Land's End, so I saw it coming across the ocean.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was really awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that. That's great. I don't know what everyone's plans are, but I wish you safety with the general mass traveling going on Monday afternoon. And I'll be coming around with our first round of photos. This first round is candid, so please pay me no mind.
Does anybody need the special classes?
Oh, yes! Crap! Yes! Oh my God!
I didn't these myself.
This is a Burlington like we've never seen it, How does a barber cut hair during totality? Eclipse it?
Grasp for answers or fight for control. Be grateful that darkness can lighten your soul. And when the spell ends that you're currently under, you'll be better for having been bathed in pure wonder. Tomorrow, when Earth, Moon, and Sun do align, match that with a total eclipse of the mind. And when life brings confusion and pain, let us hark to cherish those moments and don't fear the dark. Oh, shit.
I'm gonna see this happen so fast. Let's see what happens. It happens so fast. It happens so fast.
Tomorrow you are going to see something
fundamentally important to our species. We have known it with all the little instincts that we have as animals on this planet. There was something so awe-inspiring about the first observations of eclipses that we have dedicated our mathematics and our science and our quest to understand the universe through events just like the one that are happening tomorrow here on a very, very rare basis.
All right. So not only do we have these awesome visuals that were curated the day of the eclipse that we're here soaking in as a communal element, we have this sonic element that's right here that's providing real time. When the last time you had that, right? All right. So I hope I don't forget this because the name is so nice, right? We got the Veiled Symphony Orchestra. The Veiled Light Orchestra, right? Thank you for your attention, right? Keeping me on point. All right, so we have Connor, we got Tom, we got Bob, we got Josh. How you guys doing? All right, so this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a little jam. When the last time you guys experienced a little jam? Not seeing fish. No, this is a little jam element. Let me double check, make sure I'm on point here. Double checking, did I? Just make sure. Is it the... Oh, that's where we're at right now. Okay, they're gonna jam during that. Okay, my bad, y'all. Okay, because this is the really fun part. This is the part where we all get to do our version of a total eclipse together. You guys excited about this? Yeah, right? All right, so one, I did say at the start of it, feel free to say hi to your neighbor, right? Because we're gonna actually interact together in a unique type of way. We're gonna demonstrate it just a little bit, and yes, our orchestra band will do a little bit of accoutrement to our action. And to demonstrate it, just simply for this action, we're gonna have Alex and we're gonna have Myles at the end. We're gonna use a beacon. We're gonna use one of these lights just as a visual representation of the path that we will all be taking in this example. So, from either side, and we're gonna start from the back of the room coming up each row, right? So I guess the best way we can explain this, has anyone been to church? You guys know what it is when yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, shout out to those who know what I'm about to talk about. Right, when you get up and you make your way around, whether it's offering or one of those kind of things, right? If that's familiar, then you got it. Share that with the person beside you so they know what's gonna come up next, right? So we're gonna start from the row all the way at the far back, all the way up, and we're gonna do this visual crossing in this middle area here, right? Myles and Alex will demonstrate it in just a moment once we get the beacon up. But the simple demonstration of two bodies crossing in the middle right here, and how our physical forms can create a eclipse that we will see in the projection behind us. In real time, we're gonna see this actual art demonstration. So the two beacons that are right here will demonstrate the path. So let's just say from the back of the room, you're gonna be coming up to this area right here, to this edge of the screen area right here, right? And there will be a line on this side, and there will be a line where Myles is on that side. Once we give the prompt, both will cross in the middle, do a little thing, thing, thing. And as you see, it creates kind of like a cross between a eclipse of bodies. We'll go all the way back, you'll cross all the way back to where you would sit. Myles and Alex will usher you back to your seats. And then, and only then, will the next row be ushered to follow them up to this point right here, where we'll do that process over again, right? So as you're being ushered, only those who are being ushered, the very last row, you're gonna start to line up right here and on the other side. When your row comes, you'll know. Like I said, shout out to those who know that church experience. When your row comes, you'll know, each row at a time, and the last row is gonna be the front row. So if you're in the front, don't stress, right? This is all one moment. Okay, make your eclipse and cross, yeah, just like that, and cross all the way over, just as simple. Cross all the way over. And slowly too, because remember, you're gonna cross at the same time in the middle. And look at the screen too. Look at the screen. You can gauge yourself. You can gauge yourself. The goal is to cross at the same time. Hey, good to see you. All right, I like that. You want to give each other a high five? You want to do a twirl around each other? Feel free to be expressive. Okay, now hold on. Hold on. You stop. You stop right here. Stay right here. And go ahead. The goal is to each cross in the middle, right? Take your time, partner up, 2 people cross in the middle together, go ahead. Right. Go ahead. And notice the eclipse, everyone, notice the eclipse as they're crossing. Go ahead, cross. There you go, that was nice, that was nice. All right, hold on for a little bit, hold on for a little bit. The next row, come on up. Come on up, come on up. We're looking for perfect bodily eclipses. Look at that, look at that. Go ahead, lovely. All right, a little do-si-do. There you go. Ah, I like that. All right, now, a little twirl. Ooh, I like that. Ooh. Take it easy now. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you. All right, and continue. Lovely, lovely. Audience, can I get a clap? Clap, 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 clap. All right. Yeah, clap to the rhythm. Clap, 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 clap. There you go. All right, you two, go ahead. Next one, go ahead. Woo. All right. Wait for it and go. Eclipse. I like it. Come on, audience, give some claps. Give it up for yourselves. I want to do one. Me and you, me and do one, me do one. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so this is a bit of a jam, right? Shout out to our musicians right here, giving us some great sounds. We're gonna keep this going for a little bit until we get into our next session. So this one, I want to hear the rhythm of your hands. So the first rhythm, I'm gonna put this mic down for a little bit, so I want you to pay a little attention. All right. Shout out to you for having so much fun together. I think we're ready for our next video element. If we are not, we're gonna keep jamming. If we are, we're gonna keep viewing, I believe. Yeah, we're good? Good. All right.
We are getting ready here at Channel 3. We have our Eclipse glasses, and what would a once-in-a-lifetime event be without a t-shirt to commemorate the occasion? We're getting very excited. For now, we're live here in Burlington. Melissa Cooney, Channel 3 This Morning.
Why don't you do this one first? Why don't you do this one first, bud? This long one here. Top. Top. There.
Yeah, I'll find it better. Who knows if it? Who knows if it's even better? Oh yeah. Okay. We'll get it.
Let me get in the way. Yeah.
This is the earth. This is some people. This is the sun and the sun. It's shining from the sun, and this is the moon over it. And these are the stars.
All right, folks on the bow. Everybody on the dock, watch your ears. Very loud horn coming. Here we go.
and the moon sees, and the moon sees the one that I long to see. And here comes the part, see if you remember.
I don't know this.
When the moon shines on the earth, it creates the nights and days. When the sun shines on the moon, it creates the lunar phases. Do you remember first grade?
No, I don't remember the song.
Oh my goodness. The moon revolves around us, and the phases change in order. When the sun shines on the right side, then the moon is in
First quarter.
I see the moon, and the moon sees me, and the moon sees the one that I long to see.
Also keep an eye out once totality starts. The sun is having a special time right now. It is very close to solar maximum. So the sun goes through these cycles. Every 11 years, the north side of the sun flips to the south side of the sun.
What are some final things? It looks like it's coming.
It's coming. All right.
It's definitely coming.
I have 325.
Wow! I got one pair of glasses from my camera.
Yes, you can look at that.
minute? 1 minute. 1 minute more?
Yeah. I feel like we should like all get naked or something. Makes me feel like you should do something wild, right?
One of the beads, Caroline?
Could be.
Is that red thing a bead?
That would be my guess.
If you are getting married today, if you are getting engaged today, we wish you a lifetime of happiness and cosmic significance. Right now down here we have
It's aliens.
timer stopped. I see Venus. Time to put those glasses back on. That is so amazing.
Very special moment. This is life. We experience it. We cherish it for a lot of years, you know. What a wonderful moment. Yep. How you feel? Just tell me how you feel.
Beautiful, beautiful. Such an amazing combination of videos, and big shout out to Burlington City Arts for being a sponsor of this program. Thank you for your presence being here. Big shout out to Alex and Myles for being the videographers of this event. All the elements that put this together that work in harmony, harmonious collections. We're gonna do something harmonious right now, right? Shout out to Bob, shout out to our Veiled Light Orchestra. I keep on wanting to say symphony. The vignettes, right? We can go to vignettes. All right. Shout out to Bob, and we're gonna do, collaborate one more time, right? Shout out to the group element, the communal element of harmony. And this is a group group activity, so I hope we all are engaging. You don't have to be a professional vocalist. You don't have to be a contestant for The Voice. But if you are, I want to hear you a little louder, you know, just help the person beside you. But either way, back to Bob. Bob, do you need a stand?
I'm good. I'm just going to shout. All right.
advised against this, but we're going to do it anyway. Instead of just doing a simple three-part chord, who wants to try to sing a really complex chord together? Yeah. I knew you guys were really awesome. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to do like a major 7, 9, 11, 13 chord. So, major 7, 9, sharp 11, 13 chord. Let's try that. Okay. Give yourselves a round of applause.
The fantastic thing about interactiveness, right? Even if you don't get it on point, the action of doing it together is amazing. It feels well, right? I think you guys did great too. Yeah, feel free. I'm not going to see, you're laughing, I'm not laughing, right? All right, once again, welcome to, thank you for being a part of tonight's vignette of Veiled Light. This next section, we're going to have a collaboration of voices, right? I'm going to bring Alex here, just a little collab, a little conversation. Do you want the other microphone? Yeah, hold on this one.
We'll borrow one for a second. This is our invitation to you all to share and reflect on your experience during the eclipse, some things that have moved you. Kenray has been asking you all night to be thinking about where you were, and this is the part of the conversation where you will be able to share some of that out with the room. To kick us off, though, we have the amazing Lydia Bach, who's going to come up and share a poem that she wrote as her reflection of the eclipse, and then we will open it up to the audience for those who are feeling compelled to share. So thank you, Lydia. Yeah, if you sit down.
So my name is Lydia Bach, and I'm here to kind of kick off the community query by sharing my experience and kind of why it was really important to me. So I'm a UVM student, and I had the great fortune of taking part in today's event by shooting some B-roll on the day of the eclipse. And I wanted to share a very special experience that happened in the process of shooting this B-roll. And so I wrote a poem today about this experience. And I feel the need to share some context before reading it, so stick with me because you'll see how it relates. I'm a senior in college now, and although this isn't true anymore, there was a time in my life during high school in which I had 100 grandparents. You'll see how this relates, trust me. So I had 100 grandparents, and that wasn't like a crazy familial tree genealogical error. I just had the fortune of working my first job as a caregiver in a retirement home during my most precious teenage years. It's pretty unique to find yourself as a teenager learning to not only do things like driving, but becoming a human being in the process of those, or in the presence of those concluding their time being a human being. I was someone just starting my life and helping others exit out of theirs. So what got me into this job is rather funny. It actually started as a punishment for skipping school. My twin sister and I had skipped school once or twice, and my parents, as a way of making it up to them, made us work at the retirement home. And I ended up staying there for 4 years, not because I kept skipping school, but because I uncovered so many rare gems of friendship through working with these beautiful people. After 4 years, the lives of these elderly patients and mine were preciously intertwined. After 4 years, it was suddenly important to make a pit stop on my way to prom to show my 100 grandparents my dress as I had promised to show them. Suddenly, my grad photos were framed on their mantelpieces, and at one point, I, as a 14-year-old, was in a mahjong club with 80-year-olds. For the 100th time, and loving every second of it, I was listening to Mr. Davis's story about biking through war-torn France as a little boy. Every Saturday, I was eating vanilla ice cream at 7 a.m. with Mrs. Ross in her sunlit room and playing her piano as she pinned up her hair. What I was really doing, though, was mutually benefiting from the beauty of an age gap friendship. which I have come to learn is incredibly unique and hard to come by. Nearly 4 years later, I'm a senior now in college. Most of my dear friends have passed, or our friendship has been lost to dementia, and very few names remain in my email inbox. I was coming to terms that that was a truly unique experience that you don't see every day. That is until I got involved with this project and was asked if I would be interested in filming some B-roll of Burlington during the eclipse. There was another beautiful thing happening that you don't see every day, which was the Total Solar Eclipse, and Myles and Alex asked me to film B-roll. I was filming B-roll, and they were curious if anyone wanted to spend the eclipse capturing the reactions of a retirement center. So you can imagine my excitement at this opportunity, which was fully valid because this day was such a bright spot on the timeline of my college career. I was so fulfilled, and what was better was that the sentiment was equally shared. I sat among nearly 20 elderly folk in the folding camping chairs in a parking lot, telling each other everything about our lives, all while watching this incredible feat of the universe. We talked of our first loves, our first jobs, the excitement of our very first total solar eclipse together. I found myself listening about stories of marriage and remarriage, and at one point there was a table-pounding, full-chested laughter as I told stories of my twin sister and I switching classes in grade school. It was the perfect relapse of a friendship where an age gap of 60 to 70 years weirdly proves we are more similar than we think as humans. And to experience all of this on such a celestially unique day together was even more incredible. Some would say it was astronomical. So here's my poem about it, titled Eclipsed Age. I recently learned a fact that I think is rather fun. I recently learned that the moon itself is older than the sun, which in my head makes some sense when we think about the two. The moon being hard and gray makes the sun feel rather new. The moon being wise and still, an older, watchful eye, the sun with a hotter attitude makes it more naive and spry. The sun burns you quickly, like moments of dying youth, and the moon illuminates the night with an angel's sense of truth. Young and hot, the sun is not, prone to settle down. She burns your skin, lives on a whim, and wears a blazing crown. Her cratered counterpart, a piece of encountered art, prefers the company of the stars, speaks fondly of its earlier days when it used to run around with Mars. But these two celestial bodies are more similar than we think. The friendship juice between them is enough to fill the kitchen sink. Their gap between them is very far, and that's a scientific fact. You think differently when between you is 93 billion miles, to be exact. But there was a day when this gap receded, distance defeated with the whole world seated, the sun and the moon again were greeted. Brought together after time apart, different lives lived but with similar hearts. And similar stories despite billions of years, with similar smiles from ear to ear. That day the two finally overlapped, old friends hugging with their arms wrapped, combining the day with a brief night, forcing the world into glasses to protect our sight. The moon and the sun becoming one, despite their difference, they're old and young. The sun and moon as passing ships, the old and the young as the true eclipse.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lydia. And everyone, did anyone feel a little incentive to get back to the pen and the pad when you get back home? Might get back into writing a little bit of poetry, expressing yourself a little bit. That's a great sign of great practice of wellness. So shout out to the storytellers, the singers, the spoken word artists specifically, all those who were able to combine their efforts to present this moment, right, this vignette here in a lot of ways where we utilize our senses, our eyes, our ears. But let's share in a little bit how we felt about the total eclipse in its totality. Were you in Burlington for the total eclipse, Alex?
Yes, we were. It's dead. We were down by the waterfront. Yeah, we were down by the waterfront. But we're curious to hear from you all. Does anyone feel moved to share anything about their experience?
Did anyone see themselves on here, first of all? Raise your hand if you saw yourself. You saw yourself? Anyone else? Anyone saw themselves in there? Did you see someone you knew? Did anyone see someone they knew? All right. Okay, opening question, right? You didn't see the person who was here didn't see themselves. The person who saw somebody else, that person who they saw is not here. Anyone? Raise your hand. What would you tell that person who you saw here tonight? What would a little feedback? Anyone? Your hand?
Rats join frats.
Say that one more time.
Rats join frats.
Rats join frats? Is that what you said? Oh, it's the building. That says rats. What is it? Does anybody know about this? Rat Mission. Who knows about this? That's what's his name? Finn? Shout out to Finn.
I think you're talking about something else, though.
There was a building and one of the videos and there were a bunch of people part of the different trends.
I like this part. Anybody saw what she saw? What else? What else did you notice?
How about I share that I was in Colchester. I was on the causeway, and I remember how cold it got. I viscerally can sometimes still feel it on my skin. And even though I prepared, it still surprised me deeply.
That's the first feeling. I didn't notice how the temperature changed. Did anybody notice the changing temperature? You want to share what you noticed?
It got good and cold. Sorry.
Good and cold, all right? Was anybody ill prepared? Were you like, nah, I didn't have the jacket. You were ill prepared? I like that. Okay. Anyone else has okay, go ahead.
I saw a shot of my math tutor at the time, and I was reflecting on this time last year, and I was slacking in almost every class, but I was doing so much living, especially around eclipse season. And it was cool to see her in that shot because I was like, wow, I think the magical thing about the eclipse was that it was so universal that everyone could enjoy it. I was saying to someone how it was my favorite holiday ever because it was for everyone.
Good point. Thinking about it as a holiday thing that everyone came out. Nobody was working. Nobody was going, I wish I...
Yeah.
Was anybody working? Okay, because I was about to say labor laws. But thank you for sharing that. All right, please go ahead. Yeah.
I was at the end of a cul-de-sac at my best friend's house. Okay. It was just her and I. That was it. No one else there. We could hear everybody around us cheering and talking, sort of in the ether, right? And then when the eclipse happened, it was total silence.
Wow.
All creatures, all animals. And I don't know if anyone else here did, but I started sobbing.
Anyone had an emotional reaction? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. We're all, yeah, me too. Me too. Just a little. Unexpected. I was, just to share a little bit for where I was at, I was also a contributor to the video element. I was in Battery Park, and the community that's there, I call it the Battery Park community, but big shout out to the refugee resettlement community that exists in Burlington. A lot of people don't know. Shout out to those who know. So I was hanging with the fellas at Battery Park, and this was before I got the invitation from Myles to do some camera work. And I was intending, where am I going to spend the eclipse? I'm going to spend it right here in a sense of the people that I've been hanging around with and I've been getting to know for a while. And to see that space was expanded, right? Not just for that small little circle of community, but everyone came out and we shared space together. No issue. That was beautiful. So it wasn't, there was moments of silence, I remember right before, and then it got really dark. And then nobody called each other and said, we're going to cheer. I didn't see that on social media saying we're going to cheer. I know about the UFO thing. We talked about the UFO, trying to get to the UFO things. We tried that. That didn't work. But this whole thing about having a cheer, a moment of excitement, right, that happened and nobody had to count it off. It just, nature counted it off. That was beautiful to see. It just felt really good, right? So that was another thing too. Anybody else wants to express something that they feel their sights alerted to them? And we're going to you next. And I'm going to stand right beside
you. Beautiful to just see this moment reflected in everybody's part, and Myles and Alex and the crew for reflecting that moment back, and it brings back a lot for me, especially that moment of the eclipse. Felt like time transcended, and it couldn't be quantified in a way that we go by our days. And I was hanging with some good friends and my dog in South Hero, Vermont, up in by the islands, and yeah, to see how my dog responded and the rest of the natural world around us, how quiet and graceful I felt like this moment that I can't put into words, but beautiful to see it tonight.
Awesome. Anybody else had pets that had a reaction? You were watching your pets while you were watching the eclipse? Good friends too. All right.
Thank you so much, you guys. This is one of the most beautiful nights I've had here at Contois, for sure. And there's been a lot of beauty, like, there's been improv dance festivals, like really cool things. But this is like really, really special. And I feel like it captured the essence. So thank you so much for interviewing Bella that day. She had an art stand across from Echo, and she really wanted to sell popcorn and lemonade and give it away to the little kids. And so that morning she had me photocopy her artwork, and I think she was holding the original up at the beginning, but she just was so excited. And I remember we rode our bikes in, and we were saying happy eclipse, and everyone was just so happy and out and about. And it was just such a special day. And I just want to say the beauty of this event and the beauty and the magic of the eclipse. I hope that as a community in Burlington, we don't have Memorial Auditorium the same, but now we've got some other things. We've got the Frame, which is where I spent the eclipse on the waterfront at the Frame. Just that there's this beauty and the interdisciplinary, artistic, and emotional beauty. So thank you for being exemplary.
Awesome expressions. I wanted to just, a lot of kids were here earlier. I know it's probably close to the bedtime spots and everybody's navigating, but for those who still have your youth with you, did anyone have that conversation or share that expression with the kiddies? Did anyone kind of get that feedback from the kids? Anyone want to share what the youths might have said? Any youths in the room that want to express how they feel about not only this, but the eclipse?
I witnessed a bunch of kids, they were doing a homemade ice cream stand, and they thought that the eclipse would mean that the whole world heated up in an insane way. So I think it was probably just a genius marketing pitch that they were trying to sell all this ice cream before it would all melt, before the eclipse. So that was really cool to hear that perspective from younger kids.
Once again, thank you all for your participation, for your involvement, for your presence, for you just being. You got one more quick one. Come on up.
So just for the kids I was at the Frame as well and did that whole thing. So I had this moment where it was it's a long story, but I wanted to play music during the eclipse and busk and all that kind of stuff. So these guys are playing Dark Side of the Moon. They're sitting on the Frame, and it's going. It's the eclipse is happening and everything. They're wow, we're here. But I started playing, and they were it was kind of cheesy, to be playing Dark Side of the Moon. I was come on. Or Black Hole Sun. It's and the guys were yeah, you took me into a spiritual moment, and I was just so thankful just to have that. We just happened to be next to each other and all that. So, yeah, it was cool.
Beautiful, man. Thank you for sharing that. All voices adding to this culmination of appreciation for just nature doing its thing, for us all being under the same presence at the same time, just like this. So one more time, give it up for yourselves. Give it up for all of the contributing factors, BCA and all that, but you'll hear some more. But definitely give it up for Alex and Myles, who will continue the appreciations from here.
So what you can see here is our camera operators as well as our speakers. So at this point, we'd love if you or any of these people that operate a camera, if you're a speaker, if you're audio, BCA staff, music, projection, please stand up. Time for a bow, a round of applause.
If you were a community camera operator, a community partner, or an artist that participated in this event, please stand up.
And if you were standing before, this is the final thing, so please keep standing if you were standing before. All right, so with support from Burlington City Arts, Northfield Savings Bank, the 126, Armadillo Collective, Liggy Lights, Vanish Works, and now everyone, all audience, please rise and give a round of applause. Please rise. This final thank you is for you, for you, for you. Thank you for being a part of this vignette. Have a great...
Yeah, thank you, everyone. This is our video to close us out. Thank you for coming.
Bye.